Hello everybody, so here we are, second video. This time the whole video will be in English so that everybody will understand what I'm saying. By the way, I'm sorry for not providing you with subtitles in my first video, which was in Russian, and so just a few of you could understand what I was saying, but don't worry, this video will be entirely in English, so most of you will understand what I'm about to say. Now, this video will be about how to level up your language learning process. I will give you just a couple of tips in order to really improve your approach to language learning. Now, the first tip I'm gonna give you today is about the role that emotions have in language learning. There have been several researchers that have shown that when we associate emotions to what we're doing, doesn't matter if it is a language that we are learning, but everything in our life, every goal that we might have in our lives, when we start associating emotion, such a kind of emotions to what we are about to do, that is a game changer. Why? Well, the reason is when you have a strong why, when there is a burning desire to learn a language, and there's a reason why you want to learn it, and that reason is very strong, that will make the difference both in how much it will take you how much time it will take you to learn the language, and how will you learn it. Now, why is it schooling failing then? Why is it that all the students that are trying to learn a language at school or university fail? The fact is, that is the thing. You have to be interested in what you're doing, and that's where schooling is failing. And most of us are doing things that we don't like to do, and that path leads to unhappiness, and that's what is important to start getting interested in what you do, because that's the only way to really get great results in your life in every area. It doesn't matter what you do, okay? You have to be interested, and if you're not interested, you have to get interested in something, get curious. That is the key. So when it comes to emotions, it's very important that when you're learning a language, if you're really passionate about it, you might have a reason to learn it. I don't know, probably you have your girlfriend comes from France and you want to learn French, right? So that could be a good reason to start learning the language. You might be lifted up by this reason, but sometimes it's not enough. Each of us has his own reason, to learn a language, and you have to find your number one reason. Sometimes it's not enough, to learn a language because you will need it in your job, or because they say you should learn this language because you will need it for your job, right? Because today's required quite everywhere, and that's why you have to learn it. Sometimes it's not enough. It might be a good reason for you to learn a language, but sometimes it's not enough, because we need to combine emotions as well to our language learning process. Then secondly, the second tip I'm gonna give you today, it's about focus. Why focus? Being focused on the language that you're learning is so important, because you see, you cannot learn a language if you practice it, and if you study, if you exercise just twice a week or 3 times per week. It is something that you have to do daily. It's a daily effort that you have to do every single day, and that's what most people don't understand. They think, I go to classes like 3 or 4 times per week, 2 times per week. You have classes 2 times per week, 3 times a week, who knows how much. But that's not the key. What really makes the difference is what you do daily. As Aristotle said, what we are as people, is just a consequence of our habits. Everything comes out from our habits, from the the things that we do daily. And so if you want to become really good at speaking a foreign language, you have to practice every day. It really seems like obvious to most of you, but I guess most of you, the majority of those who are watching this video, do not practice their language, the language that they're learning daily, on a daily basis. They do it just sometimes like 2 times per week. If it's sometimes it's that's what most people do, 2 times a week, no more. And that's what you have to change if you really want to level up the game and really become good at speaking in that language. Now, the other reason why it's important to get to be focused is that we live in a world that is really full of distractions. You see distractions everywhere, right? You might be starting, learning the language, and then you get a call from someone, you have, I don't know, Facebook news or your WhatsApp, who knows, right? Messages everywhere, your phone ringing every 2 seconds. That's why you need focus. You absolutely need focus, because that's the difference between the master and the beginner. As the saying goes, the master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. And that's why daily practice makes a difference. Your level, your success in foreign language learning will be determined mainly by how much practice and how much of your time you dedicate into in the process of learning the language, right? So just start being, you have to be aware. Be aware of how you spend your time. Be aware of how your daily habits have an effect on your language learning, and how and the results that you get, right? Because these things are all intimately related one to another. Okay, I should say the more distractions you have, the less focus you have, and the less results you get. You should take this as like a karma, The more distractions you have, the less focused you are, and the less results that you get in language learning. So focus on a few things. This is something really important as well. I was reading a very interesting book. This is the 80-20 Principle by Richard Koch. And I don't know how is it pronounced. It should be like Koch or Koch, but we better not say that. So this book is all about focusing your attention on a few things in order to get massive results, and that is the key to language learning as well. You really have to focus your attention. If you're learning, I don't know, you might be learning French, you might be learning English, you might be learning Russian. Who knows which language you're learning? The key is to focus your attention on a few priorities daily. That is the key. It's not about, doing a lot of stuff. It's about focusing your attention on a few things and do it daily. That is the difference. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about more in details about some other tips that you might get, some other tips that you might be interested in order to improve your language learning skills, in order to really level up your language learning process. So, hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon. Bye bye.